I was born an artist, I know I was born an artist, but this world turned me into an armed robber. I was under the illusion that my life was predetermined at a young age and that it was impossible to kind of do art because of my class and where I come from. On both sides, I was told that art wasn't for me, and it took me going to prison to realise it was. I entered some artwork into Koestler, I think it was 2008. The potential for my artwork to be shown in an institution or a real art gallery was so appealing and hopeful that it was a remedy for what I was going through. It gave me a goal. Having the validation of someone give me feedback made me realise that maybe I was due some praise, which I hadn't received in a long time. When I did finally get out, I was paired with a mentor who made me feel comfortable. We actually went to the Southbank a couple of times and I felt so uncomfortable because I'd never been in a place like that. Coming out of prison, you smell like it. At least you believe that, and you believe that everybody knows. You just walk with that shame. Doing the mentoring changed my worth, or like my worthiness to be in that space. I remember I graduated, or I'd done my final show at Central St. Martin's, and the very next day I got an email from Koestler saying that I'd got a job with them as an arts handler and that I was going to be taken to Venice with Jeremy Deller. It was almost like a divine situation because Jeremy was the only artist that I cited in my dissertation. So meeting Jeremy was like, yeah, meeting my favourite artist, you know. And he's guided me, without him even really realising, I've been taking notes a lot. The last Koestler show, I went on my birthday and I said to my friend, I'd love to curate this one day. And now I'm here to curate with Jeremy.
So we met in Venice, which does sound romantic, doesn't it? But it was fun. When I did the Venice Biennale in 2013, I worked with Koestler to do this room in Venice. And then after that, a group of people that had been in prison came to Venice to look at the exhibition and make work as well and do workshops and whatnot. And John was one of those people. I'm interested in art in its broadest forms and also art being made that isn't made by professional artists necessarily. For me, it was a kind of unknown as well. So I was just interested to maybe get a glimpse into prison life, but also into the minds of people that are making it and what their concerns are and what they're interested in, what creative things are made and how they're made and under those circumstances. It's one of the few things you might have, is to be creative. It gives you hope, it's a form of escapism, I think, a lot of the time. Time passes differently when you're making art. Also, it's a sort of expression of your humanity in a way that's maybe been stripped away by the place you find yourself. Maybe it's a way of regaining your humanity after something that's happened to you, or you've done something, or finding a better part of yourself, or a different part of yourself.
As you can see, there's lots of whimsical artworks in here that are really funny. There's some sad things that I've picked because they made me remember how desperate I was when I was inside and how unfair I felt the world was. There are some things in here that are painted on these bright green bed sheets. And there are some materials that I see in here that take me straight back. And it doesn't even need to be an image, it could just be that shade of green. Or seeing a milk carton, maybe. People don't end up in prison because they've got nothing going on. They end up in prison because they made a mistake, or several mistakes. And that's where this comes in. Having people from outside see that there are people inside who do have talent, who do have a voice, who do have something to say. The people in prisons aren't no-hopers. They do have hope and they do have potential, but they just need someone to believe in them a lot of the time. That's what I needed. It has been quite emotional at times. I have sorted through Koestler artwork like a lot in the past, but I've never thought about, if I put this work in, might that person go on a similar journey to me? And then there's almost a responsibility there, which you just can't do. You can't say yes to everything. You know, there's 7,000 artworks. I've picked things that have just spoke to me. I mean, and me and Jeremy are coming from two very different viewpoints of experience. Jeremy's done this more than me, but I've done like prison way more than him.